of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you. Move on to item 1, adoption of the agenda. Any changes?
No changes.
Move on to item 2, good things. Anybody have any good things going on?
Yeah, I got, in the last month, 2 of my family members, kids and grandkids were engaged, and 2 of them got married, so that's pretty busy month.
Is that why you had all your travel?
No.
No. Yes, yes. We'll move on to item 3, approval of minutes of the special meeting on June 4th and the special concurrent and regular meeting of June 12th, 2025. Any changes? No changes. The minutes will stand. Move on to item 4, 4.1, programs and presentations, district reorganization update, and Dr. Safko. And I have to tell you, I went last weekend back to Palm Desert, and I came back that other way, 62, and yeah, it was a nice little drive. So,
It was. Good evening, President Scott, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Moore, staff and community. Oh, is that Robert?
Robert, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear us? Are we muted, Jenny? It looks like we're muted. Can someone go? Robert, can you hear us? Can someone go back, maybe Bev, knock on the door? It does appear that we're muted.
what's that?
Robert, can you hear us? No, now we can't hear him. He's muted.
Hello.
We can hear you now.
I see myself, but I don't see anything else.
But can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, great.
And on that note, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. I'm sure you all figured out that Mr. Campbell is joining us via Zoom. So,
Okay. I'm going to start over. Good evening, President Scott, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Moore, staff and community. It's my pleasure to give you a district reorganization update this evening alongside China Lake Junior High Principal David Andreessen. So a lot of times it's easy to kind of forget where we started and really put the context of where we are now and seated on the precipice of not only an epic summer, but an epic 2025-26 school year. So this timeline was devised, I want to say in the fall of 2023 when Dr. Moore first joined our district and thinking about all that was ahead of us and the challenges with our aging facilities. And so as you see, this was a timeline that was re-upped in 2024 as we began making the plans for 2 and 3 schools of choice, which came to fruition as Pierce Academy of the Arts, Vieweg STEM Academy, and then High Desert School with a tremendous middle college program. We opened up the School of Choice enrollment in the early winter, and then we have been enrolling students ever since for the fall, and also the hiring of all the teachers for these new programs are revamped. And so I have to share, my kind of humor inside here. Like, I noticed the timeline stops on the slide at May 2025, but boy, have we been busy in June and July. So I think it's a good thing that you may not see that. So it's so exciting that this is finally coming to be beyond paper, beyond all of our conceptualizing to have this amazing experience for our students and staff and community in Choice. I also am excited to share, and Dr. Moore will also include this in her report, our anticipated enrollments. We ended the school year with an enrollment of 4,837, and we're trending upwards over 125 students, and so as of Monday, we're sitting at 4,973 students. And we understand that our offices are abuzz, and we're enrolling about 3 to 5 students on average a day are having interest. So this was part of the vision, which was to offer more choice to our community, and they said they would respond, and they have. And so we want to thank the board and Dr. Moore and all of our administrators for the epic vision that is now coming to be. Exciting. So I'm going to pivot to some other good news, shall we? Okay. So part of our work, the meat of our work, was born in the USC Breakthrough Leadership Institute last summer, where we had a collective team from Murray and Monroe to really dig into the work of how would we bring this one junior high to life. And so our sticky message was reimagining junior high, and that was embraced by the community. So Dr. Moore had the vision of sending all of our Magnet School of Choice teams to the Breakthrough Leadership, which was the Institute this Sunday through yesterday evening. Most of us got back into town about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. And across the 4 teams, we developed an engagement plan that we will carry through the rest of the year, and I'm pleased to have Mr. Andreessen present our work.
Thank you very much. Before she leaves that slide, you'll notice that some people will say that those are listed in alphabetical order, but I will tell you they're listed in order of importance of the school. Just a personal opinion. Just a personal opinion. All right.
Sounds like a gauntlet.
You want
It's this one?
downward? Mhm.
Down. All right. As Dr. Savko mentioned, we had a lot of people there, a complete team, people representing teachers, administrators, counselors, TOSAs, also that we could get a lot of different information and get different views as we move forward in this very important work. As you can see, like I said, lots of people participating. We also, again, like to thank the board and Dr. Moore for providing the resources necessary for us to attend the session down there at USC, and appreciate the facilitators that we had there as well to help us through the process. Well, when we look at change and we look at doing these things, the first thing we look at is what we can do to disrupt, or what we need to disrupt in order to move forward in a positive way. And one of the first speakers at the Institute that we went to shared the quote, "Every system is perfectly designed to get the results that it does." And so when you want to change the results that you're getting, you need to change the system. And that's kind of what we looked at, and we looked at those things that we needed to disrupt: historical models and the status quo, inflexibility and rigidity, stakeholder norms, negative perceptions, systems that don't serve students, inequities and trajectories, and some of the current trends that we're seeing. And this is kind of the storm or the clouds that we're trying to get through. As we move through this process, again, just a brief history. As we looked at kind of the reason that we're going through this process, we looked at aging facilities, outdated school boundaries, declining enrollment, limited school choice, and creation of one junior high and 3 new magnet schools. Again, as we looked at doing that, those things that we want to bring into those schools is developing school cultures, ensuring student engagement, and ultimately focusing everything on student success. As we looked at each of the 4 groups that worked kind of independently while we were down there, we looked at some of the common themes that were discussed in each and every group. And those common themes really boiled down to having a student-centered focus, making sure that everything we're doing is focused on student engagement, is student-centered, and making sure that everything that we do is helping us meet the needs of our students. Okay, and so as we advocate for what we want to change, we want to create the sunshine that will be able to bring us out of the clouds that we saw earlier, focusing on responsibility, accountability, community access, and communication. Those are some of the big ideas that we want to focus on as we move through this work. And then as we looked at that, again, one of the speakers that we talked about a sticky message, talking about kind of that catchphrase that you can use to kind of look at as you're moving forward. And each of the 4 schools developed one of those while we were down there. Pierce Academy was create, perform, belong, and achieve. China Lake Junior High, reimagining learning for all. Again, we use that reimagining because we kind of had that focus last year and kind of carrying that through into this year. V-Wade STEM Academy, Curious Minds plus STEM equals Powerful Futures. And High Desert School, Alternate Ed, your choice, your path, your future. As we look at those things that we did down there, and we did a lot of work and had an opportunity to really get into good discussions in our groups, started to create a race plan to put those kind of ideas into practice and what we need to do moving forward, and kind of get that stuff down to give us a roadmap of where we want to go in the future. And then as we use that roadmap, making sure that we have checkpoints and mile markers that we can look at along the way, that we take the opportunity to celebrate the success that we know that we're going to see, and give space to make productive mistakes, because we know as we go through this process, anytime you're doing something new, there's an opportunity to learn and grow from both things that work well and things that might not work as well as you hope they would, and making sure that when we have those experiences that we're able to learn from them and grow and move forward. Are there any questions?
Any questions? No?
Looks exciting.
Yeah, truly appreciate the presentation. It looks like you guys had a good time this weekend.
Yeah, it was very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5, we have no public hearing. Move on to item 6, reports and communications. 6.1, reports from members of the board. Any reports? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 2, superintendent's report. Dr. Moore.
Thank you, President Scott. So as we heard in the last presentation, our enrollment is looking better. We ended last year, month 10 enrollment at 4,837, which was down 120 from the prior year, which ended at 4,957. And the attendance rate was 87.6% for our last month. But with the enrollment and the schools of choice and all of the things we just saw, we're trending up and continuing to enroll students every day. And so our plan, if we build it, will they come? They are coming. They're continuing to come. And we're very encouraged that our redesigned and reorganized district is meeting our community's needs. So we look forward to seeing them on August 7th. But that is, we are optimistic and we are planning for them and staffing accordingly. I'm very excited about that. I want to thank Dr. Savko in particular for her leadership at the USC Breakthrough Leadership Institute. I attended Tuesday afternoon and all day Wednesday, but they were well underway under her leadership, building in the systems. And so while we had USC facilitators, they were ceding the floor to her and letting her do her thing with systems thinking and singing her praises. And all 4 of our schools left with action plans ready to implement. And the best part about it is, so last summer, Dr. Savko and I and others we were hands-on in the planning. This year, the schools took it, they ran with it, they own it, and they're ready to go. And we're there to support, to remove any barriers, just to be their cheerleaders. But really, like David Andreessen and our other principals and teams, they just facilitated their folks. Teacher leadership, our counselor leadership was really on the forefront, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So I just want to acknowledge her and also Laura Herbert, our coordinator of secondary education. The 2 of them were rock stars. And I'm looking forward to our leadership retreat next week, having all of our leadership team back from their summers, welcoming our staff back for professional learning and kicking off the new year. And in the room today, we have our new student board member. We'll be speaking to that later in the agenda, but Jasmine Casas Flores, and I'm excited to see her on the dais next month when we meet. So lots to look forward to as we launch the new school year, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. We'll move on to item 3, communications from the public. The board will provide time during the discussion of each agenda item for members of the public to comment. At this time, members of the public may address the board on an item not on the agenda. Comments should relate to items of public interest within the board's jurisdiction. The law prohibits the board from taking action on items not on the agenda. If appropriate, your comments will be referred to staff for response. When addressing the board, please state your name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. In accordance with the board bylaws, the board will limit the total time for public input to 30 minutes. Those wishing to address the board beyond the 30-minute time limit may do so at the end of the scheduled meeting agenda. I'll open up public comment at 6:16.
Sorry, this is my first board meeting.
That's all right.
No idea what's happening. How are you? Hi, I'm Cynthia. Good evening, members of the board. I'm going to read this. I have a horrible time memorizing things. My name is Cynthia, and I'm here on behalf of the Women's Center High Desert to talk to you about the importance of teaching our teens about healthy relationships. We're developing a teen dating education class for youth ages 13 to 18 to be initially offered at our office so we can work out the details and gather feedback from parents who will be invited to review the whole curriculum and put in their input. With your support, we hope to eventually bring it into the schools. The class will cover essential topics like boundaries, consent, healthy communication, domestic violence, and sexual assault. These are not just buzzwords, they're real issues that our teens are facing daily. According to the Office of Juvenile Justice, up to 19% of teens experience sexual or physical dating violence. Nearly half are subjected to stalking and harassment, and 65% report psychological abuse in their relationships. These numbers reflect what's happening right here in our community. I have personally responded to student-on-student sexual assault calls in both middle and high schools. These are traumatic, life-altering events that could have been prevented through early, honest, and age-appropriate education. Our goal is simple: to help teens recognize red flags, respect boundaries, and understand what a healthy relationship looks like. This isn't about an agenda. It's about protecting our youth and giving them the tools that they need to navigate relationships of all kinds safely and respectfully. We at the Women's Center are committed to being part of the solution, and we just ask for your support, collaboration, and willingness to consider this program as a necessary and proactive investment in our students' well-being. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And you've got staff, so it looks like she's handing you her business card.
Yeah,
So,
because I'm going
yes,
to come
okay.
back.
Yeah. Thank you. Seeing no other takers, we'll go ahead and close public comment at 6:19. We have no educational administration items. Move on to item 8, Policy Review Committee. 8.1, approval of updated board policies and administrative regulations. Dr. Moore.
Thank you, President Scott. We had our Board Policy Review Committee earlier this month, and the attached policies and administrative regulations are recommended to go forward. I will highlight all of our Board Policy Review Committee meetings and agendas are also public and posted on our board agenda Assembly system, and you can see the minutes attached. We looked at community feedback leading into the cell phone policy, and so these are policies in particular to update our cell phone usage and provide some flexibility, but also stay within the interest of our community, and it was really neat to see how aligned the feedback was from our parents, students, and staff when you look at that summary document. Also, we have AI policies, and these are the broad strokes that would allow us to move forward in this space in safe and protected ways, but to continue our innovation and preparation for our students for the future. Happy to answer any questions along with our board policy committee members if you have any questions.
Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, we approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board?
My mic doesn't work. See if you All that I really just wanted to do was to thank the committee for doing this work. I really appreciate the process that we've developed and the information that we received to give the summary. And I really believe it helps us to give the attention that's needed to this kind of policy work and keep it at a high level. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate we're taking on some pretty important issues here. And I know as time goes on, we will refine when the reality of the implementation hits the wheel. So thank you.
Thank you,
I
Mr.
said, just add on a
Mr.
little
Johnson?
bit. Thanks. Get my mic back. And yours works now.
Yeah.
That's weird. So I once again appreciate it. My only concern is it's summer. These policies go into effect at the beginning of the school year, and hopefully all of our student manual, all the student stuff gets all updated at the beginning, because I'm sure there's gonna be some interesting first couple of weeks with the new cell phone policy. So I'm glad we have a policy now that we can actually point to and say, here's our policy, not willy-nilly do what we feel like in the moment. So I'm glad we have a good policy that we can adjust and move on, but it's, thanks you guys for doing this, because it's tough work. So I appreciate it. Thanks.
Any further questions or comments from the board? Any questions from, or comments from staff or the community? Yeah, you just come up to this microphone right here so they can hear you on TV land.
Hello, good evening. So we are new to the school system out here. And so as a policy, cell phones will not be allowed in the school systems?
So the policy is divided by grade level, and the policy would say it would not be allowed at elementary schools at all, which is currently what our practice is. Students shall not use smartphones or other mobile communication devices at school for elementary. At secondary campuses, they may use it during non-instructional time. And then the policy gives the school sites flexibility on how they enforce. So for example, what Mesquite has planned for how students will lock up phones will likely look different than what China Lake Junior High School will do. But it is the expectation for no cell phones during non-instructional time unless there are certain required exemptions for health reasons and emergencies. And if there's an instructional reason. So there's a little bit of flexibility in there. And so what the policy will do, will set that expectation, and then we have it planned next week with our leadership retreat, with all of our administrators coming back to really look at implementation so that we can start the year with a consistent plan for each school. And when we got the feedback, and you'll be able to see if you choose to go online, the summary document with the feedback by group. What did the parents say? What did the students? And what did our staff say? Across the board, folks didn't want any cell phones in elementary schools. There were some mixed feelings about maybe some flexibility at the secondary level. And then they all wanted it to start at the beginning of the school year. There was this concept of consistency is key. It's something we've learned from the research. And so although they're not all here tonight, their feedback is certainly represented. And there was an understanding that we were planning to take action over the summer so that we could be in with that launch at this school year to start the new year with the new policy.
Okay, but they are allowed, it's just to, obviously not during instruction, which I totally understand. It's just more like for safety aspects in an emergency to make sure that they can have something accessible. That was my kind of worry that, because things can happen at any given moment, just to make sure that they have a safety aspect of being able to access one, but that's fine.
And that was actually taken into consideration. and,
Yes.
yeah,
Well,
we
nowadays,
completely understand
you know,
that, so.
As much as you play safe, anything
yes.
could
No,
happen, so,
completely understand.
yes.
So,
All right,
thank
well,
you.
thank you.
Yes.
Any further questions or comments from the board, staff, or community? We have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Yeah, hey, one quick thing
Okay.
before I say yes. We're having power outages off and on in this place, so for some reason, if I go dark for a second, that's what it is, but, aye.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye. It's unanimous. Move on to item 9, Personnel Administration. 9.1, report to the board. Quarterly report on Williams uniform complaints. Good evening, Bill. Good to see you.
Good evening, President Scott, members of the board, Superintendent, Dr. Moore, staff, and community. There were no findings this quarter for the Williams uniform complaints. There are no financial implications, and the recommendation is for this item is presented for informational and reporting purposes only and does not require board action.
The board have any questions? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 9.2, approval of memorandum of understanding, side letter with the confidential employee group.
The district has an employee group called confidential employees. These employees hold positions that would otherwise be considered classified positions. However, because these employees are routinely and consistently assigned to sensitive positions requiring trust and discretion, they are excluded from having an exclusive representative. In other words, they do not belong to an association. However, because of the sensitive nature of their positions and the trust and discretion that is required, they receive an additional $1 per hour compensation. When one of the district's confidential employees retired on June 30th, 2024, a CalPERS audit of her retirement found that the additional $1 per hour compensation was incorrectly characterized and therefore could not be considered a component for her base salary. As such, her retirement has not been aligned with the amount she should be earning had this incentive been recorded properly. After extensive investigations and working with representatives from CalPERS, a determination was made regarding how to fix this scenario, both for the retired confidential employee and all of the current confidential employees when they retire. There are 3 components to correcting this process. The first is to establish an MOU or a side letter, since there is no bargaining unit to negotiate with, that describes the compensation in such a way that it is aligned with the government code related to CalPERS. The second is to make sure the MOU or side letter is approved by the board retroactively so it can be included, so that it can include our retired confidential employee. And the third is to have the board take action on the MOU or side letter in a regular meeting in open session. The MOU side letter is included in your board packet for your review. There are no financial implications. We have not yet heard the final report from CalPERS as yet, so the recommendation is to approve the MOU side letter with the confidential employee group as presented and any minor edits or changes that CalPERS requires.
Recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. Any questions or comments from the board? Just like to make a comment, it's just unfortunate that CalPERS takes this type of action, I know that they've gone a little bit to the left, thinking that we're spiking salaries when your normal employee is just getting their base salary, and that's what it should have been to begin with. But hopefully this goes through and this gets all resolved, for this employee and prevents future problems. Any further questions or comments from staff, community?
I would just like to make a comment. I think this does show good faith effort on our part and in rectifying what
Yes.
was seen as a mistake.
We have a motion and a second. No further questions or comments. Call for a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye, it's unanimous. Move on to item 9.3, approval of MOU with the Desert Teachers Association permitting the Title I Special Projects TOSA at Vieweg STEM Academy, Pierce Academy of the Arts, and Richmond Elementary School to be compensated for up to 5 additional days of work in preparation for opening the 25-26 school year. Beth?
The district is preparing to open 2 magnet schools for the 2025-26 school year. In addition, Richmond Elementary School is moving from its temporary location, Vieweg, to a new site. To be prepared for the opening of the 2025-26 school year, significant planning and preparation must be completed during the summer of 2025. The district and DATA have agreed to an MOU which will permit the TOSA at each of the 3 sites, Vieweg STEM Academy, Pierce Academy of the Arts, and Richmond Elementary School, to work up to 5 additional days during the summer of 2025 to prepare for the opening of the 2025-26 school year. Each TOSA will be paid their daily rate for the additional days of work. Financial implications: the cost will vary because each TOSA has a different daily rate. However, the total cost should not exceed $7,500. The recommendation is to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Desert Area Teachers Association regarding the additional compensation as presented.
And I will add,
to recommend
there
action.
was one edit that Bev referenced verbally, but the MOU would also be edited. We're striking Title I projects teachers. Some of them are not that funding, but they are all TOSAs or special projects teachers in that same category. So with that slight revision, that is what we're recommending the approval be.
Move the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board, staff, or community? I'll call for a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye. It's unanimous. Move on to item 4, revised job description, Parker Performing Arts Center Technician.
The Parker Performing Arts Center, or PAC, technician retired as of June 30th, 2025. Due to changing conditions and modified needs, the Burroughs High School administration wishes to revise the job description to better align with current conditions. A thorough review of the current job description for the PAC technician has been completed. It was determined that some modifications were necessary. A copy of the revised job description with the proposed additions emphasized with red font and the deleted language stricken is included in the board packet for review. There are no financial implications. The recommendation is that the board approve the revised job description for the PAC technician as presented.
Move the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and a couple seconds. Any questions or comments from the board, staff, or community? Have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye, unanimous. Bev, thank you. Thanks for
Okay.
filling in for
Thank
Mr.
you.
Old. I'm sure he's enjoying himself over in Hawaii. So, move on to item 10, General Administration 10.1, appointment of student member to the Board of Education for the 25-26 school year. Dr. Moore.
Thank you. So as you know, we have updated our student board member selection process. The student board member must be elected by their peers, and we have tonight before you Jasmine Casas Flores, who will be the senior class vice president and the commissioner of communications at Burroughs High School. We heard from her mom earlier this evening, but they are a Navy family and moved here from Virginia, and she has a lot of great ideas. I had a chance to meet with actually her parents and herself, see her in action at our autism walk, as she's very active in the community, volunteering, a student leader, and she's going to be a great addition to our team. So she'll be up on the dais next month, but she's here in case you have any questions, too.
I think they call that diving in, right?
Yes. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from board, staff, or community? Hearing none, have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson? Aye. Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, unanimous, officially appointed now. Would you like to say anything? Or you're more than welcome to come up and.
Good evening, board members. First, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. It means a lot. As someone who's been involved for a very, very long time, it means a lot to be able to represent my fellow students and to be able to make our voices heard in case there's something that they're wanting to see or if there's something that they think can be better. Like Dr. Moore said, I am very involved. I am a Sea Cadet. I am part of our leadership. My sisters are in Cub Scouts. My mom is one of their leadership. So we're a very involved family. We're also a military family. So being here, we're trying to make the most of an interesting situation. So I just really appreciate the opportunity to bring an outside point of view in.
Perfect. Looking forward to seeing you on the board.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
see you, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most, Jasmine. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, we'll move on to item 11, construction administration. 11.1, report to the board, construction activities and issues. Mr. Moore.
Thank you, President Scott, Superintendent Dr. Moore, members of the board, faculty, members of the community. This is our current construction update. I'll start with Richmond Elementary first. The kitchen at Richmond has been coming together for a while now. That means that we've been working on it ad absurdum forever. But it is coming together. In fact, yesterday and today, they finally started taking the adhesive covers off of all the chrome picture. It looks beautiful now. This is the refrigeration unit in one of our freezers. And can you tell the temperature in that little picture? Okay, let's get closer. Can you tell? Here, let's get closer. Yes, that's -4 degrees Fahrenheit. I think the biggest trouble we'll have is keeping employees from taking long breaks in there. Next, I want to point out this is a picture I took earlier today. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows. If you'll look under to the left of that door under the word cafeteria, you see those pipes that are covered. That's water and gas supply through the cafeteria and kitchen area. And it was approved by one inspector, and another inspector came in and said no. So we have to relocate that. We're actually taking a 90-degree down underneath the ground and over around the corner to an alcove where it should have been all along because there's nothing else over there. So this is happening, and you look at this, oh my gosh, when is school going to start? That right there is probably going to be done by Wednesday. This is a big thing that's not a big deal. All the other little things are big deals, and we're taking care of those as well. For example, all of us have been down there. If you remember the ribbon cutting we had just a moment ago, this was waiting for some of the electrical infrastructure to be installed because we have to have lighting under there and some other safety and infrastructure issues. But we've been waiting to put a lid under it. Look how great that looks. That's over by the bus area. This is the school blue. That's it looks much more finished, much more professional, and a welcome entry that the kids will see every single day. The teams have done great groundwork, and we're ready for the next steps, and I'll keep you posted on that. There are 100 other things happening at Richmond, and we don't have time for that tonight. That's what my team is doing on site. And let's move to another school, China Lake Junior High. Last month, I showed you an artist rendering on the top right-hand corner of what the logo will look like. This is actually a photograph I took. It looks even better than the photo I showed you. Down on the left-hand side, you see the actual front of our gymnasium there instead of a photo artist rendition. The bottom is the artist rendition of what the sign would look like. And when we got it done, this is what it looked like. And so I may have raised my voice that day and told them, I'm not going to pay you. Our shop class across the street could have done better. And they jumped to it, and I can tell you that I took a photograph this afternoon. They've finished it already, and it looks beautiful. So, yes, I can raise my voice. I went out this afternoon and saw that, and that's completed. We have playground equipment on the order still. We have some painting we're completing, sandbox fillers, touch-ups throughout the district. We're moving furniture around. You'd be impressed if you knew what we're doing behind the scenes, folks. A couple dozen other things that will move around between now and August 7th. If you see any of our staff standing underneath the tree and it looks like they're not doing anything, that's because they just were, and it's hot out there. And so they're required to take breaks, and we want them to be able to perform until these kids get in school and we've got everything set up for them. We want to keep them cool in the meantime.
Why are they standing underneath trees when they have the kitchen?
When they have,
I'm just saying.
well, as one of our teachers said last month, Roosevelt's not the only school we're working on.
Yes.
And so I will reiterate that this is happening in 10 locations, and I'm delighted that our teams are working cohesively, and we're going to hit our mark. And that's our update for this month.
Any questions? No questions. It's just for informational purposes. We'll move on to item 2, approval of facilities programs resolution. Resolution number 3, 2526, authorizing filing of application for state allocation board administered facility hardship and/or facility hardship seismic mitigation programs, and resolution number 04, 2526, authorizing filing of application for state allocation board administered programs on or after October 31st, 2024. Dr. Moore.
Thank you, President Scott. I'm filling in for Jennifer, who is a new grandma. And so these 2 resolutions were recommended by our consultants that help us with our construction, and were specifically initiated related to our China Lake expansion, but will serve for any future construction. So when Prop 2 passed in the state of California, it allowed us to get some matching funds from the state. And to do that, we have to have a facilities plan, a master plan, but they're still figuring out what the rules are and what we need to put in that plan and update the plan. So we will absolutely do that, and they're in the final stages of identifying what those are. Meanwhile, we are required to have these 2 resolutions approved by the board so that we can move into the filing process, acknowledging, yes, we know we will be doing our facilities plans and all the other things that are required. But this board action is your authority for us to take the next step in filing to get some of those state matching funds. And happy to answer any questions.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board, staff, or community? Have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye. It's unanimous. Move on to item 12, Business Administration 12.1, authorization to provide transportation services for community recreation. Dr. Moore.
So we had a great request from one of our community friends that asked to say over the summer, hey, we're doing a youth camp. Can we use your buses and maybe your driver? And it was a great question, and we didn't really know the answer, so we did some research. We found out on our policy, our existing policy, it does say that we could with board approval. And it was not clear, is it board approval once? Is it board approval every time? But we knew we hadn't gotten that approval yet. So we explored that. We researched what does the county do, because the county does a similar process where there's a fee per mile and there's a fee for staff time so that there's no cost to us, much like our facilities use protocol is people can use our facilities and pay for the costs, so we're not out of pocket. And so if we take that same approach, we would like your approval to be able to do this. Now, in this particular case, they ended up finding another solution, and the timing wasn't ideal all around, but we would like to be ready for future. We know our Salvation Army does youth camps, and other agencies do in the area, and when it fits our mission, such as youth, and, you know, is an alignment, and we have equipment and staffing available, we'd like to make that available to our community with your approval. So our staff has put together this is a resolution with this, and we have a little form that would be filled out as well. But our recommendation is for you to consider approving Resolution 7, 2526. There would be a standing authorization from you for us to do this, should it meet our needs and our staffing as well.
Move the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board, staff, or community? Mr.
Yeah, I think this is a great community and school togetherness. It's nice to get those kids where they want to go and safe. So I like this one. It's a
Mr.
good
Ferris?
Yeah, thank you, Mary. I think I was going to say a similar kind of thing, and I just really appreciate the fact, last year, our community supported us in recognizing that we needed to build and prepare our facilities, and I think we need to show that we have the same interest in the community as a whole, and this is a good way of doing it.
I just have one quickie.
Go ahead.
Just the legalese part. So what liability does the district take on if we essentially rent the buses to a group? Are we vetting the chaperones and all that stuff, that they're safe, as they would if they're school district employees or a school field trip? It doesn't have to be answered tonight, just a question that I just thought of as we read through this policy that I didn't think of earlier, so.
Right, we'll look into see how the county does it.
Okay.
Our Director of Transportation's in the audience. Erica, do you know the answer offhand? And it's okay if you don't.
Not offhand. I do know, like, when we charter out, they have us fill out almost like a release of liability, and also their rules and regulations on the bus, what they expect of the riders and that sort of thing.
So I'll repeat it on
Yeah.
microphone for those that didn't hear. So yes, usually charter, other agencies have some sort of liability or protection. We'll check with the county and make sure, we're always making sure that we're taking care of ourselves from those types of perspectives. So we'll
I
follow up
I
with
just wanted to
that.
make sure that people understood, if you use the district stuff, that, yeah, we're not gonna get sued for somebody doing shenanigans on our bus. So, thank you.
Great question.
Any further questions or comments from board, staff, or community? We have a motion and a second. Have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye, it's unanimous. We will move on to item 12.2, resolution authorizing the establishment of bus routes for the 25-26 school year.
We're at 12.3. Oh, bus route. Did I skip it? Okay.
I don't think I've hit 2 yet. Did we just
Maybe
do-
okay, yep,
Yep.
thank you, you are correct. So this is another one we don't do very often, but as we have reboundaried our district and zoned, we thought it was a good practice to bring this forward and identify the bus routes and stops, which have been attached as well in the packet. And this will just provide that transparency. As you know, we each year publish these on the website as well as in the newspaper for our families. And this is all following our recently updated policies and administrative regulations that the board approved previously alongside our boundary changes. So happy to answer any questions. And again, our director here is the expert in case you have those.
Do I hear a motion?
Move the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from staff or community?
I have a question.
Yeah. Please come back to the microphone. You're going to be an expert by the end of the evening, trust me.
And these are recorded, so we need you in the microphone,
Broadcast on
please.
television as well.
Yes. And then by tomorrow, the paparazzi is going to be following you around and taking all this TV time you're going to be getting. Yeah.
The only question I have is as far as, because we do see them come into the base and pick up kids, how will it, like, will it be something that it'll make those changes also affect our military kids who use the buses, the routes? Will it be something that it'll have some kind of impact, or, because I want to make sure, like, our bus stop, we only have one, right, for our children on the base. So I just wanted to make sure that that's not going to be something that's going to change or kind of affect.
So the bus routes, or the distance to the school was updated recently, and so that would depend on which school they're going to. Is it 3 miles? Is it 1.5 miles? Erica, do you know offhand, was there a change to the base bus stop? If you could come forward, please.
Looks like there's only one at Leahy and Nimitz, according to your Richmond School route. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We do have the one, and it's a really good, safe area. It's right by the park, so it's really safe for the students. It's worked out really well over the years, and so we've just kept it the way it is. Now, in the afternoon, sometimes we will drop off at like 13, 18, but that's the only main difference.
Okay, and I know we're working on traffic control with the base, and Mr. Joe Little has been working with us on some scenarios and such, so we continue to work closely with the base on all of these changes. But just to reiterate, just because there's a stop doesn't mean it's for every student. It depends on what school they're going to and the distance, because we did make those adjustments, so it's not the same as it's always been.
Correct. And I will be working more with Jennifer and the base on the traffic with the Richmond Gate. And we're going to be bringing buses through there, kind of seeing what it looks like. That way they're willing to adjust times as needed, just to make it work for everybody.
Great. Did that answer your question, ma'am?
Yes, it did, and thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No, we're good. Any further questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. We have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell.
Aye.
Mr. Johnson. Aye. Mr. Ferris.
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell.
Aye.
Myself, aye, it's unanimous. Move on to item 12.3, approval of purchase of desktop computers and laptops. Dr. Moore.
Yes, thank you. And since posting the agenda, the dollar figure has even gone down from this one, but this is related to our Windows 10.
If we wait till next week, will it go down further?
Well, maybe. So, as you know, we have some computers still running on Windows 10. Many of those were able to be upgraded to Windows 11 without a purchase, but some of them were obsolete. And it is, as you may recall, we used to buy refurbished desktops. That was a practice for many years. And under our new leadership and just kind of revising and thinking about that innovation in our mission statement, we realized we might need to do some faster computing and be a little bit more up to date. And so this will help replace some of those obsolete technology or hardware, and it will be less than, but in the neighborhood of $494,000. I think it was like at least $20,000 less. And we will continue to refine the pricing and make sure we're ordering what we need and nothing different and not wasting those dollars. So it will not be more than that amount in this particular purchase, but that was the ballpark originally, and we'll continue to get as competitive pricing as possible. And use existing equipment that doesn't need to be replaced when possible as well. Happy to answer any questions.
Do we have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board, staff, or community? We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye, it's unanimous. Move on to item 12.4, annual notification of contract renewals exceeding $15,000. Dr. Moore.
Yes, thank you. And as promised last month, we knew there would be a few that we had not made it to that original list. So these are the remainder that we know of at this time that have all been approved in the past, and they are those annual renewals for consideration and transparency. So again, our intention was any of those annual renewals that cost $15,000 or more that we would put in this process. And so our special education department has been working to catch up and make sure we're ready for the new school year. We have some technology items there. and one of our systems with the county office as well that we've added to the list.
And it's just for informational purposes, so we don't need a motion, correct?
We are recommending action. We did last month as well.
Okay.
You're right, we didn't get that fixed in the,
Yeah.
the way it was posted.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fixed it last month. So I would recommend that you actually take action to approve these contracts. We have not actually paid for them yet, pending your action.
I'll go back to what Mr. Johnson said. Is that your motion?
Second.
Amended recommendation.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board, staff, or community? Have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye, it's unanimous. We will temporarily adjourn the regular meeting to conduct the In Your Current Schools Financing Authority Board of Directors meeting. Item number 1, adoption of the agenda. Any changes?
No changes.
Item 2 is approval of minutes of the regular meeting of June 12th, 2025. Any changes? Those minutes stand. We'll adjourn the In Your Current Schools Financing Authority, move back into the regular meeting, go into item 14, the consent calendar.
Move the entire consent calendar.
We have a motion and a second for the entire consent calendar. Any questions or comments from board, staff, or community? We'll have a roll call vote. Mr. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mrs. Campbell?
Aye.
Myself, aye, it's unanimous. We'll move on to item 15, future agenda. Any future agenda items? Hearing none, we will move on to item 16, launch. And how about Eleanor Roosevelt? The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. We will not adjourn because we have to move back into closed session, but the rest of you are more than welcome to take off. But we will, Jasmine, we'll see you on August 21st. Yes, third Thursday of August. Yeah.